If you're in a busy season, whether it's a busy season of the year or it's just a busy season in your life, one of the most difficult challenges that we face is how do we get the exercise that we need and we want in order to feel and look our best. I'm Deborah Atkinson. I'm the founder of Flipping 50, and this is the answer. I'm going to give you 4 short workouts, the framework to choose exercise, place them in so you've got several options for this busy season that you're in. We're going to kick it off with 2 strength training workouts. Follow that with a HIIT or high intensity workout, whether you need high impact or low impact, and with mobility and a little core exercise. I'll see you on the flip side.
We're starting with strength because when you're really in a busy season, you want to maintain your lean muscle and keep that metabolism high. This will give you the most energy. So you'll see this again, you'll come back to it. But here's where we start. Major muscles. So you could choose 3 or 4 exercises, or you could minimize it and go with 2. But here's what I'm doing to make this go very quickly and efficiently. I'm doing a big, we call it monster set or drop set. I start with my heaviest weight, I go to my next heaviest weight, and then I'll drop again, but this is immediate. The only time between you're doing 15 reps of each weight, and this is important, 15 is kind of reach fatigue at that point, is so that we really are done and taxed. Now, you wouldn't want to do this workout all the time, but it's a fantastic go-to. Now, another major muscle group. Lower body. You never want to skip a lower body exercise like a lunge or a squat, a leg press. And I'm doing the same thing, or I could simply choose multiple exercises of lower body exercise. So here I'm doing a rear lunge. It's the squat, the rear lunge, and you'll next see me do a band side stepping. Now I'm hitting the glutes in multiple ways from multiple directions. So I just gave you 2 ways to strategically get a very quick workout done in about 10 or 15 minutes, hitting major muscle groups that are going to help you the most. So with this band, I did side to side stepping. Now I'm leading with my pelvis, doing forward motion, and I will flip that back using my tailbone to lead, and I'm getting some quadricep work as well as hamstring and glute work here in the back. So again, you're going to see this. Here's the code. Here's what you're going to do. So you choose 2 or 3 exercises, major muscle groups. Strength training set 2. So this one, I'm going to do all on the floor. Wow. Yeah, really efficient. 3 to 4 exercises. So I could add a core in here, but what I'm doing is chest press right here. I'm going to be on my back again. I'm going to do a bent arm pullover. That's for your back. A lot of people don't quite feel this one, can't feel reaching fatigue, but you're definitely working your lats in the back. Super efficient to do it in this way. Then I'm doing a core, kind of inserting core, warming up my glutes before I do a hamstring. So there's 4 exercises I've chosen here. Now I'm going to use the ball. If you don't have a ball, you could just do a bridge up on the floor. I'm going to use those exercises. Do this circuit 3 to 4 times, depending on how much time you have. 3 is ideal. Let's go to HIIT. So we want to burn off some calories. I know, really, you cannot do that. Just want to say. But it is fantastic for keeping that fast twitch muscle fiber. You want to keep yourself moving, get a great workout in a short amount of time. And by the way, this is best for women even when they're not busy. Yep, we need it anyway. So watch what I'm doing here. I'm not showing you the full warm up, but you do need to do a really good warm up. So what you're seeing is I'm using, in my head, I'm using a timer or my watch or a clock. I'm going to do 1 minute each move, sidestepping. Mostly we're walking forward and back, right? We don't do lateral motion anymore. So doing a side step, right? That's what happens. We need to practice it. So think about if you're on carpet, you have to pick your feet up. The next thing I'm going to do is just come right back up with, say, a hamstring curl. Goes really easily right after this. So all I'd have to do is pick that foot up. This is just super easy to organize mentally. So think, okay, the seconds hand on your watch or clock goes up, or your timer. I like seconds timer. I put it right on my phone. It tells me when to switch, and you can be listening to music simultaneously. So I will do something like 1 minute each move. And that's for warm up, and then 30 seconds for the high intensity. And then you need to take whatever you need for your cool down. So, want you to see this when you're doing high intensity. And this warm up, by the way, could serve you well prior to doing strength training at home as well. So think 5 minutes, 5 different moves. I'm just going to do that, or choose 2 or 3 moves and alternate them. That'll work too. Now notice I've gone sidestepping and we're flexing to the rear, so I may want to change that. I could add a knee lift or drop that heel down. Now I'm going to cross it over my midline. Did you know that amazing things happen when you cross your arms over the midline or legs over the midline? We start to rewire your left and your right brain. It actually makes you pay a little bit more attention. Probably makes it a little bit easier for you to recruit muscles while you're exercising. But this is a great thing to remember before you're giving a speech, or before you are, say, in your office and you're working on something complicated. Standing up and doing some things where you just bring your arms across your chest, across that midline, or your legs, knees, do some rotation, can actually make your brain get a little wake up call. So do it all while you're there, multitasking. So here, I'm going to probably pull my knees up so it's really just slowly flowing from one move into the next move. It's all you're trying to do, and you can make it super easy. Give your arms a little rotation up and around the shoulder, moving back, keeping your torso upright as you're doing the movement. Now, no matter what we're doing, really important that you've got really good form. So as I'm doing these knees, I want you to think, I'm not concentrating on knee up. I'm concentrating on pushing the heel down to the floor and getting a straight leg with the standing leg. So be sure that you're good and warmed up, and then do a good cool down after your hit. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to choose 1 to 3 or 4 moves to rotate. So this is like doing a little bit of a jumping jack. It's the first high intensity move that I might be doing. If you can't jump, you could go quick feet, out, in, out, in, like you were moving through the tires like a football practice, right? So in and out. That's it. That's all you need to remember. Quick steps or jumping jacks. If you can, remember you don't have to jump in order to get this going. That would be one. Now I recovered fully. Here's another one. Lateral movement, up and over. I'm imagining there's something on the floor. You could use the floorboard, the tiles, the line between the tiles, tape something on the floor. You could use a ladder, but you don't need one. You just need an imagination, and I would highly recommend not necessarily using an obstacle, because the likelihood you would trip is there. We don't have to. So I was doing it higher. Now I'm doing it a little bit lower. Lateral movement changes the impact a little bit, so you get a little force on the bones laterally as well as from the top. So if you can do high impact, please do that. Now I rested fully, and here's my third move. So I'm doing a squat jump. So down and up, again, good form. You don't have to touch the floor. And I know I see it happen a lot of times. So unless you can touch the floor with a very tall spine and good form, leave that one out. Now, I could take any one of these moves I loved and simply repeat that for each and every interval. I've done 3 different intervals. Now, I could choose any one of these and repeat them again. 4 to 6 intervals of about 15 to 30 seconds is all you need. Recover fully between, and there you have it. That's your hit, because you're going to cool down afterward, and it's 15 to 20 minutes. Let's do mobility and core. Now, I told you I was going to do a little bit of core, but what I really want you to pay attention to is that there's core just sneaks into yoga. You have to be using your core in the very best way. You're actually already pulling in, you're already contracting through the core, and this is a good thing. So mobility is something we may not prioritize unless you are really stiff, tight, and or no energy. no energy to do the HIIT or the strength, then definitely tap into this. But this is something is better than nothing. Do try to maintain that mobility. So we're doing a forward fold, and this series is called Sun Salutation 1. So we've just done lifting up, forward fold from the hip, doing a small stretch for the spine, coming down again, and then coming all the way up to the top. Right now, focus on the hamstrings and the glutes, and they usually need it. Don't overdo it. Your knees could be bent more if you need it. And when you do come up, slight bend of your knees if you can't come up with a flat back. Good. Now you are going to repeat that Sun Salutation 1 3 to 4 times, and that could be your entire practice. That's it. What I want you to realize is you can do this 2 to 3 times, and then the way we build in a yoga class, if you've been to one, is then add Sun Salutation 2 on it. So you'd repeat the motion 2 to 3 times. Then you could add Sun Salutation 2, or you could call it, that's my practice for today. It's all I had time for, but I got it in. I stayed consistent, worked on my mobility. Now I'm a little bit more conscious of my body and my alignment. You'll notice your shoulders get away from your ears and sneak back down where they belong. This is Sun Salutation 2. So it's the same start. We just step back here and we come down into a upright plank. This is called Chaturanga as we lower down. You want to notice that your slight bend of your elbows, they stay close to your sides, and then we sneak up. Your core may need to be on the mat, but lifting, nice arch to the neck, not cranking that head back first, but lifting with the sternum, always thinking that. Coming into a downward facing dog. And here's what you're getting when you do go to Sun Salutation 2. We're opening the shoulders. It's one of the greatest shoulder stretches and shoulder openers we get. We often need that because that's related to the heart and the chest. So we open up, our posture improves a little bit, and we're getting that great hamstring and glute as well as lower back stretch here, your entire rear kinetic chain. So again, Sun Salutation 1 you could do 2 or 3 times, then move into Sun Salutation 2 and repeat that 1 and 2 3 times. Again, now you've lengthened the workout just a little bit more, but you're doing body weight exercise as well. So this is not strength training. You're doing body weight, and as you come down, what did that look like? Well, a plank. Now, this is optional, but I love this one if you know yoga and you're comfortable putting in a pose like triangle pose. The front foot steps forward, we straighten that knee, and then we're just going to rotate away or toward the camera in this case, reaching up toward the ceiling, and notice what happens is you're lifting the arms up, fingertips reach up, open through the chest. Good. And again, what did we just talk about? We need that shoulder opener and the chest opener, and you'll feel yourself expand. Now, this is also a core exercise. So almost every pose in yoga, especially if there's any balance, any rotation, the core or spine is horizontal as opposed to vertical, is really much more core in a challenge, which is fantastic. So it's built in. Don't feel like you have to do core. You are doing core. So of course, when you're doing anything on a right or left side, you got to do the other side as well. Super important. Keep yourself balanced, and it also allows you to compare and pay attention. Am I balanced? Or is one side a little bit tighter than the other, which might happen through the hips, through the hamstrings, or through the chest as you're reaching up here. So just a little review before we wrap up. There is just choose 1 or 2 poses or sequences. Sun Salutation 1, Sun Salutation 2. You're going to do one, repeat it several times, go on and add the second one.
So there you have it, 4 quick workouts, really short, that you can do in 20 minutes or less. And if you want a little bit more help putting together all of the pieces based on your priorities, whether it's gaining lean muscle, improving your bone density, losing fat to optimize body composition, improving your balance and your agility skills so that you don't fall in the first place, I will help you with all that with a free exercise planning guide. It's one of the most common questions I've been asked in 40 years as a medical exercise specialist and strength and conditioning coach. It's what we do at Flipping 50. So you can get the guide for free. It actually comes with a master class so that you can watch and plan your best next routine easily. I'll see you on the flip side.